evening, everyone. It's Saturday, on the day after they announced Evo. Games for the year. The list for the most part was pretty unremarkable. There's a few games that caught me off guard, mostly because I've never heard of them. The one that I had heard of that caught me off guard was Mortal Kombat 11, because a lot of people thought that was not going to be happening anymore. But, you know, there's that Smash opening that happened, and there we are. We were able to get that, or they were able to get that in. Anyway, we're on floor 7. We're still grinding it out with Eno. Before stream, I was getting a little bit of some exercise in with Goldsmith Lewis, so we might venture into that. Wrong one. Might venture into that in the future. In the meantime, let's see if we can't get a game in.
Are you ready?
Into the fire with a soul. Soul bad guy, who's actually the good guy. That's
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts, heaven, or hell.
Alright.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
I don't know what my thought process on that was. There it is. Yep, that happened. That was a good move to punish me. Alright, we take those.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
Oh, we're not there yet. Not good. There we go. Oh! Alright. Good start on the night.
Heavy bottom ならいいってもんじゃねえ。
I don't think he was a fan of that. Alright, cool. Maybe he's
Duel
fine.
1. Let's rock.
Oh, well done. Yeah. Oh! Alright. No! Almost made the comeback on that one.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Yep, that was proper. Oh!
Slap.
That's fine. So the first set.
Man.
Alright.
Duel 1. Let's
Game on.
rock.
Oh. This is better. Nope, wrong way. No!
Slap.
Damn!
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Alright.
Slap.
Rough start, but first round of the day against us all. Picked up on a lot of my bad habits and was able to capitalize. This guy's gonna take the saw. I'm gonna go take the axle. No, I'm gonna go take the axle lane. Change it up. Get some variety out of the gates. Okay, cool. Damn. Excellent.
Are you ready?
Alright, cool. Do kind of a night
Duel
round.
1. Let's rock.
どうスタッカー我慢しなくたって
Come on now.
Duel 2. Let's rock. Slap.
また遊んでくれよ。
It's gonna be a rough start day today.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Come on.
Duel 2.
What kind of night you having, Jason?
Let's rock.
Pressing the goddamn.
Slap.
やめとけばよかったのに。
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Holy crap.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
We got the one out of it. I'll take the one that we got.
もう絡むな。あんたの髪を。
Hey, Slash. Well, I apologize for embarrassing myself while you lurked. I don't know if you caught this record right now. Not off to a great swimming start. Yeah, Axel, looks like it's gonna be you and me again. Yeah, well, yeah. Definitely a rough start. That May was like, I want nothing to do with either of you two. How's your night going? What'd you think of the Evo announcements? I mean, obviously the only big ones that were kind of like, ooh, would have been Melty Blood, Grand Blue, and Skullgirls. Hey man, water bottles. That type. Me and a guy I work with are kind of bathing it out, and I don't think we can manage it here. Because before we get to hotel and flight, it's already hella expensive. No! Why did you... A lot of people were kind of surprised about Mortal Kombat 11, because like a lot of people have kind of written that game off.
Duel 2. Let's rock. Perfect.
また遊んでくれよ
Not going. Excellent. This guy's gonna go up the floor on my head.
One. Let's rock.
Be nice to my fucking He has bad aim. Not so lucky for me. I also have bad aim.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Come on, man. Fucking... This guy's reaction speed is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, the whole list was Street Fighter V Championship Edition, Guilty Gear Strive, Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, King of Fighters 15. None of those are surprises. Melty Blood Type Lumina, fucking Dragon Ball Fighters. And then it was Grand Blue Fantasy versus and Skullgirls second encore last. Come on. Too low blocking the fucking jumping slash. Just fucking sick. Yeah. Oh, if I go to the 6th floor, I'm gonna be so pissed today. Yeah, apparently they released some new content for that one recently.
Are you ready?
I might be wrong. I don't know. All I know is, at some point, just before EVO, I'm gonna do like a, hey, let's play all the games at EVO sort of situation. Like I said, I'm not going this year, so there's no intent on that one. Now, really, fuck, I just got into him. Alright. Time to test my bladder against my nervous bowel.
Duel 2.
Yeah, me neither. Like, honestly, Melty Blood, I've maybe seen played, like, I haven't even seen it played. Like, I think Hotashi had picked up a clip while he was on stream once. He was like, huh, interesting. To me, it looks like anime Harry Potter, the fighting game.
遅いです
Slap.
またお会いです。
This guy's going for mark. I really should not.
Let's rock.
誠実を頼むすみませんねさて誠実あらら怒りますすみませんどうこっちがおるしさてこっちがおるし遅いです
続しちゃう。
Slap.
行きます
Duel 2. Let's rock.
触れば
Really? Low block. The,
行きます中止ですああ
Slap.
So it was also described to you as anime Harry Potter, the fighting game?
Let's rock.
誠実を
Not what I want to do, but sure.
あらら遅いです
Gio almost made a comeback on me. Right on top of my head.
またお会い。
Duel 1. Let's rock.
遅いです飛びはどう
我慢しなくていいの。
次のボックスからはそうですさてどうほらもし上手するどう上です遅いです
Damn. Oh, that was my lose.
重いですダメだ眠い
Slap.
こ
Duel 2. Let's rock.
名字遅いで2回目いきます
Oh!
Slap. Duel 3. Let's rock.
行きます
Come on. I think we can touch the buttons this time. Alright. I have to exit my station and I could be right back to the washroom. Come from the washroom. Oh my god. Oh.
相手してね。
Just a game, guys. It's just a game. Remember. Never do this. Alright, I'll be right back. I may have found a problem that I might run into in gaming tournaments if I ever do get, like, competitive in this game. I gotta get that under control.
Are you ready?
I'll be here. You're playing against this Rick and Morty fan.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
I tried him out to come back.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Dive down. There's the dub on that one.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
Nope. We're getting punished. Need the 6P out of that jump. That's what I need to do, and I do it!
何とぞよしなに縁何とぞよしなに縁 Duel 1 Let's rock
Low guitar.
Duel 2 Let's rock
That was a mess. Got her. Alright.
またお会いして。
Duel 1 Let's rock Slap Duel 2 Let's rock Slap
Trying to dash back.
Duel 3 Let's rock
Come on. Just in time. Good luck, champ.
ブリッジくらいにはなったわ。
Ooh, this lobby is flat out emptied out. Alright, let's do a reload, see if that fills it up again.
Welcome.
Hello? Is there anybody out there? We'll just do. That's a good time to just chill out. Considering how much of a photo finish I just had in the washroom. So I've been thinking, in the months leading up to the Evo, I might take some Friday, because what I did was, as soon as this list was made of games, I went immediately on, wherever I could order game, found the best deals, or, whatever I could find. They did make a physical copy run of Melty Blood. I am not paying the secondary market price that's on it, though. They're all out of print. I think it was Play Asia made the North American version of it. Secondary market's looking at $300 a pop. Like, for a fighting game? Yeah. I love me some fighting games, but $300 for a physical copy? I will go digital in that game. I think it's something similar with Skullgirl Second Encore, where Second Encore is actually only physically released on the Vita, maybe? I might be wrong. But I'm not going to be streaming a Vita game, so. But here's a funny thing. Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. I did end up paying a full price for the game, but secondary market pricing on that game was sitting at like $80 for a physical copy of the game. A regular physical copy of the game. What the hell? Why gotta be like this? It was like $80 for a regular physical copy, $85 even. But I could get the special edition with all the crap inside of it for like $71. I could also get a digital copy for dirt cheap, I think. I don't know. I didn't do the math. I tend to aim new whenever I can. And the reason I aim new is this shitty story I got from EB Games. I don't know how it makes sense. Don't ask me how it makes sense. It's how it worked out. What I think is, it was only third-party sellers that had the regular copies of the game. In the meantime, the Amazon warehouse themselves had the special edition copy of the game, which is what I think happened there. So, because it was third-party sellers selling all the normal ones, and Amazon themselves selling the main one, I was able to get the main one for cheaper than what the third-party sellers thought they could get away with selling it. After this match, depending on how long we have to wait, I have a story about my copy of Dragon Ball FighterZ that I got for the Switch. It is one of the most infuriating things I've had to deal with when dealing with an EB/GameStop employee. And what I want to do one day is get a little like, fuck you this on them. Now, actually, I think I can probably tell the story here. I am a game collector, like collector. So like, I like my games, even though I play them, to be of a certain condition when I get them. Right? I will accept a little bit of beaten up games on like a 30, 40-year-old game, whatever, okay? If I get like my full box, in-box Castlevania, Super Castlevania 4, is like, it's not the best of conditions, but I paid a lot of money for it, but it's Castlevania. It is I don't want to say it, but it's like a 20-plus-year-old game. So yeah, I paid a lot of money for it. I'm not going to say how much I paid for it. You will puke, and you will say, why am I complaining about Melting Blood? Melting Blood is not a 40-year-old game. Oh, neat. We get to go to 8th floor. Okay. We have props for this.
Move on to the next floor.
Now, this is probably one of the few times where I'm going to tolerate their bullshit. But when I went to go get my copy of Dragon Ball FighterZ for the Switch, the game was sold out everywhere. It tended to happen around Evo, I think, where like everybody wanted to get a copy of the game. So, oh, straight to the timer, eh? I guess that means there's somebody else in the lobby that I missed. Now, an old habit of EB Games, I think they still do this, and it's disgusting, and they've got to stop.
Are you ready?
Is they would gut one copy of the game, take the game out of the case, so that they could put the empty case on the shelf, so that you could go get the case and bring it to them. Now, their argument is, well, nobody's played this game, nobody's touched this game. I'm a collector. I don't give a fuck. Right? At this point, the second you've opened that plastic wrapper, you've got a fucking used game. That's bullshit. You try to sell me that as new, I'm already a little bit pissed. But then, they didn't, like, I went up to the counter and asked if they had a copy of the game. Okay? I'm gonna go full screen for this. And they're like, oh, we have a new copy. All right, great. But it's a gut. I'm like, I really need this game. I really want this game. I really want to play this game. I want it for the Switch because I was big on the Switch and I had yet to really start my PS4 collection. Mostly I had my PS4 for 2 games. God of War, the one I was working on. So, they're like, we don't, unfortunately, we don't have the case. These motherfuckers give me this nonsense. Now, this is not a Switch game case. Look at that fucking ugly white thing. It's all fucking photocopied, color printed bullshit. Now, what I want to do at some point is I do want to get my hands on a proper copy of Dragon Ball FighterZ for the Switch, but I want to do it at EB. And I want to trade in this copy of the game. And I want them to turn to me and say, well, this is not the original case. That's funny, asshole. Your company sold it to me new in that shitty box. So how about you give it to me at the fucking, without any of your fucking bullshit trade and deletions and shit like that. I'm ready to do this. I am ready to go to war with these sons of bitches. Because of the fucking shit, because I turned to this guy and I was like, okay, you sell me this. You give me this. Now, as a game collector, if I go out in the world and I try to sell this as an unopened copy, do you think somebody's going to give me a stupid look? Because this is the stupid look I'm giving you right now.
Are you ready?
GameStop, decision makers, if you're fucking listening to me right now, you stop this shit. You don't put it on the counter. You take these boxes and you put those on the fucking shelves. You do not open a game and then try to sell it new. That is stupid. That is bullshit. Clip that and send that to fucking GameStop. Oh.
Are you ready?
And then, like, I no longer accept this. Like, this was the last straw. I don't want a game enough. I didn't have my Amazon Prime account at the time. There's a lot of situations that were just like against me for just accepting this. It's just like, fucking whatever, man. I'll fucking deal with it. I hate you. Fuck you. So I no longer accept this, obviously. Like I said, I won't ever again. And the tirade that I just sold you, what the fuck, man? That's a little too many. I'm going to a fresh station. Let's see if that works. Fresh port. I feel like these are the representative server ports. All right, here we go. But yeah, motherfucker's gonna eat that rant. And then I'm gonna be like, yo, now give me your manager. Now your manager, give me your district manager. Now district manager, give me your boss. Because I'm fucking pissed with all of you right now. Like, I feel like there's laws that are being broken when they do this. Know what I mean? And it's like, I understand. And I'll turn to him. It's like, look, you don't make this decision. You stop trying to sell me this, you get me your boss. All right, you, I know, think you can get away with this. You're wrong.
Let's rock.
But yeah, there's got to be some kind of consumer law that they're breaking when they do that.
Let's rock.
I know when it comes to food, you cannot actually serve an item with the seal broken, or sell an item. You know, if this, especially with like bottled juices, they have like a warning label. If this label is broken, do not sell. Right? Because that's like a food safety issue. Make up fast enough. Damn. Level 8 souls hit differently. I got close. But I did throw that one.
Let's rock.
Damn it. That's what I want to open with. No! Yeah, I think that's the first time I actually paid attention to how long he's leaving me for space. I kind of deserve that. Nope. Got him. No! Yes! That fireball, or that S-stroke came perfect timing. My god, I damn near shit myself. Okay. I'm getting a little too exaggerated with my chemical addiction. There it is. Jump. You see me try it now. Counter on that. Holy shit, this guy is fucking getting an inch and he's taking the goddamn whole city. The whole postal code. Damn. Caught me on the air grab.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
No, I have been able to capitalize on a few things with that Saul.
ヘビーボトムならいいってもんじゃねえだろ。
I've been doing I have been able to improve. Is it here?
Are you ready?
Improve my conscious supers by switching to this. My new mistake is exaggerating some of my movements. So, we're working on it.
Mankind knew that. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Yeah, he's covered for me now. Damn it! Well played.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Whoops. Oh, that was mine. Oh, you got me. Oh god, that was only the first one of this set.
Duel 1. one. Let's rock.
どこで見る
Whoops. 'Some of the iframes on his moves start to piss me off. His dash iframe specifically. Like, he leans into some of the moves, and it's just like, wow, I was there for like seconds, man. But like, this is what I'm talking about. Is the moves are actually connecting with him. Like low to the ground, yeah, but when the move just pushes him, it pushes in. We've seen this before with the dash. I'm not crazy.
Duel one. Let's rock.
I'm leaning forward too much up.
Slap. Duel two.
Or leaning down, rather.
Let's rock. Slap.
That was wild.
バイアスの挑戦もできねえの。
Yeah, and it's not like I'm screaming glitch or anything like that. It's just, it's annoying to see. It's annoying to see, like, actual collision being adjusted, being affected, and it... Yeah, I did get that. Well, I think that would, like, if I would have lost that round, I would have been in round 3, right?
Are you ready?
I think this guy wants to go up the stairs on my head, and I think he feels like he's close. So might be I at this for a bit. Alright, I get to work on my soul game. Not a bad thing to work on. Now, when you say stiff, are we talking New Japan stiff that punch looked real, or are we talking stiff as in he's
Mankind.
a little immobile?
Duel one. Let's rock. Let's rock.
Okay, he gets priority on that. Gotcha. We both have the same idea. Also, my 6P is... My forward is leaning a little low. And that's on me. I gotta readjust my position here.
どこ見てる。
I was hitting buttons that time.
楽しめたか。Duel 1. Let's rock.
Caught me that time. Caught me that time.
Let's rock.
Wow.
手間かけさせやがって。Duel 1. Let's rock. Duel 2. Let's rock.
No. No.
Slap.
This guy keeps beating me 1-2. Or 2-1 rather. Find somebody better than me. Guess not.
Are you ready?
All right, Steven. Steven.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
マイナスフェイク
Shit. I hit a button. The animation had started before he triggered the thing.
2. Let's rock. Duel 3. Let's rock.
Yes. I think I did. Nope. Fuck. Oh, you son of a bitch.
楽しめたか Duel 1. Let's rock.
Another rollback point to jump on the second there. A little scared. Fuck. He plays the lottery every time he does that. He catches me. He's caught me twice. But I think I've caught him twice at least too. So he's not even a lottery. It's like he's flipping a coin See?
Slap. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Turn that around. Or not. Oh, he got greedy. Ha ha ha. He was like, I've caught this before. I'm gonna do it again. Catch this. Alright. I, once again, have to make a washroom run, but this time not as bad as the last time, so we'll be right back. All right.
Are you ready?
Let's get Fausted.
Duel
We'll do the Fausting.
Let's rock.
Just eat me. Faust, don't eat people.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
こっちがどう？
Damn.
Slap. Duel 3.
I'm only concerned because I recently found out that that's a thing some people are into. Was I low blocking it? I didn't capitalize on that, so that was useless. No!
Slap.
Found out the hard way too. No, I didn't find out the hard way. But there's definitely a lot more follow-up questions when somebody says they're going to put me out. Problem is, he comes at me low too, so I'm already low blocking. So, it's good.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
No, I'm blocking. What the hell? Maybe I'm trying to block the flag. Maybe it's the same problem I was running into with my fucking. Oh my god. I don't want to talk about it.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
I think on that one I was stun locked. Damn.
Slap.
I need to turn this around.
Let's rock.
I think he's catching me with it when I'm stun locked, and that's why I can't really do anything about it. Fuck!
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Come on. No! We take those.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
Okay. I'm dragging down hard, and that's I don't know why I'm doing that. I think it's nasty lazy wrist or. No! Fuck! Almost had that one. And that was 100% on me. I should have gone for the straight dash. I went for the gliding dash. I don't know if it went any. Oh shit! Thank you. Still missing those 4 for that green beard, man.
Are you ready?
Zoinks!
Mankind knew that they can. Duel 1. Let's rock. Counter.
いきます。上です。打ちます。すみません。飛びます。さて。重いですね。波が眠い。
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock. Counter. Slap.
ブリッジくらいにはなったわ。
Duel 1.
This is your fault, by the way. So
Let's rock. Slap.
I'm gonna get punished. There it is.
Slap.
またお相手して
Okay.
Let's rock.
行きます
Go. Bad timing.
急いでる
我慢しなくてもある
怒りますよあります
Damn.
何食べる気
I want to run it back one more time.
Are you ready?
I didn't realize there were...
Duel 1. Let's rock.
重いですすみませんねあげますねほら行きます結構強い
Duel 2. Let's rock.
通りませんね静寂を頼むすみませんねすみませんあ
No!
Slap. Duel 3. Let's rock. Burst max.
投げますね。ほら。すみません。上です。こっちが。
Damn. Got fucking cocky.
まあね、ジャガーに毛が生えた程度だったけど。
Duel 1. Let's rock.
どう？通りませんね。あらら。
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock. Slap.
It was a good distraction.
ブリッジくらいには
Duel 1. Let's rock.
静かに。遅いです。行きます。
Yeah, I'm catching that. I gotta.
Let's rock.
遅いです。あ、そうか。投げますね。
Oh, what was that?
Slap. Duel 3. Let's rock.
Not what I wanted to do there.
遅いです。2回目行きます。
Slap.
まあね、ジャガーに毛が生えた程度だったけど。
If I had been like a split second later, I would have hit on that one. Oh my god. Oh, let's go for a mirror. Been a while.
Are you ready?
Yeah, it's a hell of a sweep when it can be an anti-air. I went in for a dive. Oh, okay. I landed a little early, so or a little in front.
Let's rock.
Okay. No!
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Things I just learned.
カバーじゃオリジナルを超えられないものよ。
Apparently you're invincible during the animation of that?
Duel 1. Let's rock.
フィニッシュじゃもうたまらない。
Yeah, basically, like, during the whole run of that, it looks like, you know, something I just learned in the mirror match.
Slap.
カバーじゃオリジナルを超えられない。
Duel 1. Let's rock.
欲しいね。もっと上手に。こっちがオリジナル。こっちがオリジナル。ライン。こっちがオリジナル。ライン。はい。終わり。我慢しなくていい。
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock. Slap. Duel 3. Let's rock.
感じる
どう？
素敵なファルセットだった。
Well, we learned something. Okay. Oh. I'm mostly steamed because of that double super where we both kind of stared at each other. Well, we stared at each other for a second and then he obliterated me. Happy Chaos?
Are you ready?
All right.
Man,
I gotta start using it more apparently.
let's rock.
It doesn't usually come up, I'm sure. Why am I so low? I don't think anybody usually gets a chance to hit her, really. You just block the fucking thing, right? But when, you know, I had a couple openings in there where it's like, okay, cool. Come on. Here. It almost looked like he just looked at it and was like...
Duel 1. Let's rock.
I'm only gonna make this joke because you made a typo. But is that like the lemon pledge we want to dodge? Come on! Yeah, I don't know what it is. I can't fucking dodge that ball. I don't know what about me. That's what I'm talking about. Did I not say I can't seem to dodge it? I don't know what it is about me. Fuck.
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Like right there. Fucking, I'm in midair already, and he got me. Of course, that was supposed to fucking duck under it. Great. Come on! I don't even think you need to be good at it, you just need to be fucking playing against me.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
Here, have that.
Slap.
It's that frustrating moment where he gets that first gunshot and you're just like, alright, This is my life right now, unless you're ready to burst in fucking no man's land where you're gonna get punished for it, right? That's what I think there's... It was Axel, Chip, and Happy Chaos are my, like, miserable 3. And it's not like, oh, I can't beat them. Oh, like, a good player beats you with him. It's like, well, I'm glad I came to play and brought this controller and whatnot. That you just feel like the game has been robbed from you. Chip, Axel, Biken. Or, not Biken. Biken's on my head. Happy Chaos.
Duel 1.
Ooh, this is a big fight.
我慢しなくていいの。
Wow. I hate good bikers. Oh my god. Who beat this guy off of fucking Celestial? Alright. I want this thing to stop with this input bullshit. I think I'm done for Well, I'm glad I caught her with the fucking heat.
Mankind knew that they could. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Not burst proof. Gotcha.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Oh my god, why am I bothering? Just go up a floor. Alright, they're going up a floor on my fucking head, I guess.
Let's rock. Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock. Slap. Duel 3. Let's rock. Slap.
Just
仇討ち是非なし阿鼻に天のホース千里成敗お上の松何とぞ吉名に縁
Viking has a lot of down thrusts that fucking are making my 6Ps look stupid. Like, I don't understand this. Maybe I'm just having input timing issues. I'm just playing spiking again, eh?
Are you ready? Duel 1. Let's rock.
Sure?
Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
That time it actually looked like it fucking... Catch it.
Slap. Duel 1. Let's rock. Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Come on!
Slap. Duel 3.
仇討ち是非なし阿鼻に天のホース千成敗お上の松何とぞゆしなに
Okay.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Actually, that one, I think that last one was fucking. More reaction to my death. Fuck! Takes so much damage from these counters.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
What am I doing with this? Fucking causing this problem. I spent that entire round just fucking telegraphing, hey, you're on the ground, I'm dashing.
お上の松何とぞゆしなに何とぞよしなに
In every situation that I did that, I should have not input. Or gone for a throw, even. Oh, does that counter work on a throw? I don't know. We're at 50 fights, eh? Alright, let's go one more. Make one more attempt at it. Throw beat it.
Are you ready?
Start doing that, I think. Because I'm telegraphing when I dash from across the screen. Did they just... Did they give me a homie round?
Perfect. Duel 2. Let's rock.
What am I witnessing?
Slap.
Did you just fall asleep at the controller?
Duel 1. Let's rock. Slap. Duel 2. Let's rock.
I'm better on that one.
Slap.
仇討ち是非なし阿鼻二天のホース千成敗お上の松何とぞよしなに
Duel 1. Let's rock.
欲しいね仕方ない嫌だ
Slap
I told myself I would do it. I told myself I would do it.
2 Let's rock
Ah.
Perfect.
仇討ち是非なし阿鼻二天のホース千成
Alright.
敗お上の松何とぞよしなに閻魔何とぞよしなに閻魔殿
We're just gonna give them what they deserve, which is... Alright. Let's get that screen set up. It's video time. Post-game chill time. I just gotta go to the washroom first. We'll be right back. Alright, whoops. Probably close to what you would consider centered. Let's see what we have on the docket. I am open to any suggestions, of course. Just doing that thing where we gotta look up. Look at a couple political things once, and all of a sudden your suggestions. Like, that's not the kind of streamer I am. And how to drink. Great YouTube channel if you're into alcohol. Yeah, of course, Corey. Let's see what Corey's got, if they got anything new, or... Is it going to be the boring old Corey than Coney? We watched a lot of Coney, actually, last week. Three types of players, or... Let's look at salt, because I was just feeling some a minute ago. Analysis, the effects of salt. Oh my god, and they got a chubby guy fucking doing just what I was just doing. Okay, let's get this going. Doom.
Traditionally been one of
This I want to do over here. I just gotta exit the game because the music is very distracting too. You could say I'm working on it, or you could say it's a problem I've had since I started fighting games. I can't remember a time where I've ever not slammed an arcade. Bam! But the other reason I love these is they can take a bit of a beating, and they have that bad fucking surface to smash when you're not having a good day. All right, let's see what the effects of assault are.
in fighting games.
Give me a second there. I want to make sure my noise gate on my microphone is a little better. Oh, the chubby thing. Yeah. I mean, okay. I saw a thing very recently that really hit hard, and it's like, getting in shape is all about hating yourself and working on hating yourself more to get better. Like, ultimately, getting in shape, it becomes like the source of your body dysmorphia. It's unavoidable. I was working on the sound because I was getting, I think my sound was coming through. Nope, not. I want to do it here. Settings. Filters. Put that up a touch more. Hopefully that doesn't.
Have traditionally been one of the few moments you can learn about a character's backstory and personality. But in the first Street Fighter, you would actually see a lose quote each time you defeated your opponent. The first line is a compliment, but the very next sentence is pretty...
I'm never not going to think I'm fat. I'm always going to be... Ever since I turned fat, I figured I was going to turn fat, or I was just going to be that way. That's kind of how it's going to go for me for a while. I spent a lot of time not being fat in any way, shape, or form. And if you want to really feel bad about yourself, the Wii Fit board had me at 170 and it was saying like 6 feet, 170. You're overweight. Like, excuse me? Where am I going to lose the weight? Wii Fit.
Sometimes a lose quote can say more about someone than their win quote, and this is why there's a Twitter user known as ScrubQuotesX whose feed is full of salty lose quotes from people who lost in a fighting game. Losing sucks, and it's why game developers have made all sorts of ways to make it suck less. There are now checkpoints, continues, difficulty levels, hints, and of course,
I was going to say continues are not new, but I think I think I gotta kind of step away from that because like continues used to be the 10 seconds you had to put another fucking quarter in there. It's stress to stress you out. Like, oh my god, do I have time to fucking start again?
The white Tanuki suit.
This everyone's a winner stuff is a bunch of bullshit. If you
Amber
suck,
says the
you
same
should
thing about
lose.
me.
Generally, you can reduce the amount of losing by making a game easier to beat, but this doesn't work with head-to-head
But I struggle with
competitive
30
games
pound
because
weights
both
that I have
players
here.
are trying to win. No matter how
That's what's
easy or
caused by
accessible
balance.
you make the game, one of the two players is going to lose.
Paper covers rock. This is my room.
This means one-on-one games will necessarily result in half the player base experiencing a loss at any given time, and this generates a lot of salt and consequently a lot of complaints.
You lose, you feel bad, and you stop playing.
Yeah.
DBFZ is really easy to play, but if someone's better than you, you don't get to play. Casuals just don't want to get steamrolled in a fighting game.
What is it about these games that make people so salty to the point
That is one thing I definitely noticed about Dragon Ball Fighters. You feel like I feel when I lose to Axel, Happy Chaos, or Chip, where it's just like, why did I come? I've never got that out of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I played a lot of Marvel. Oh god, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should pull it out of my Xbox 360 and fucking play some Marvel vs. Capcom.
where salt is ingrained in fighting game culture, and how does it affect us?
You gotta be salty after that, because he had
won the previous
Ooh!
round.
The answer lies in the heart of scrub quote.
That rage quit right there where he slams the arcade stick. The aftermath of that, I don't know if it broke off or if it got pushed in, but the stick went through it like a bullet. It was insane. Fair. You know what? Now that I think about it, when I was winning in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I was particularly obnoxious with Rogue. Like, my buddies would play against me with Rogue, and they'd want to fucking throw me through a table.
If you look at these comments, there's an underlying theme that's repeated over and over again: fairness. Sense of fair play has been demonstrated by primates in an experiment involving two capuchin monkeys in cages next to each other. After being completely fine eating cucumbers, the monkey on the left sees the other one getting the more delicious grape for doing the same task.
C gives a rock to us now, gets again cucumber.
Hey, what is...
The result?
It's not even just that the monkey reacted that way. It's how the monkey took it. Where the monkey threw the cucumber, he's like, give me that fucking grape. Like, slammed the table and was like, come on.
Is primal rage. This inspired similar experiments like the one with wolves pressing a buzzer to get food. According to the researcher, when the inequity was greatest, they stopped working. I think he was so frustrated he broke the apparatus. The wolf literally rage quit and broke his controller. These parallels to human behavior.
That's a cute little edit.
They stopped
Remember that I was
working.
saying what that
I think he
arcade
was so
stick looked like
frustrated
after that
he
guy
broke the
threw it?
apparatus. The wolf
That's literally what it looked like. It looked like somebody shot it.
literally rage quit and broke his controller. These parallels to human behavior might seem kind of funny, but the experiments were designed to put the animals in an actual unfair situation. In fighting games, people get into situations that seem unfair, but it's usually because they're lacking certain knowledge or skill. For example, if you don't know how to block in Street Fighter, it's simply impossible to escape this. Because no amount of button mashing will change this situation, Salty Guy might be compelled to say,
My buttons don't work.
if he learns his buttons work fine, he
buttons
might
don't
accuse
work.
his opponent of playing dishonorably.
Been screwing my joystick all fucking
like to
day.
call
Like,
this
come on,
approach fair, which
motherfucker.
goes like
I
this.
bought you to
Like
avoid
a
these
Pokemon
bad
game.
inputs.
And if they were, you were playing dishonorably. And if you weren't, you were playing without skill. And if you were, it's not fun to play that way. And if it is,
One thing I can tell you is online play is where I get saltier. I don't have my opponent to turn around and be like, you beat me. Like, if they're right there, I can just turn around and be like, fuck, you're good. And tell them that, right? If it's online, they're a fucking ghost. They're the computer as far as I'm concerned when I'm playing online. Like, I know they're a person. It's the mentality you get. It's how gambling addiction can really strike you in Vegas or casinos. Because they take your money and they give you toys. And like when you get that, you don't think about it as money. And it's a thing about I'm having trouble with online play where it's like I get angry because I don't have that person next to me to be like, that was good. That was fucking awesome. I have to fucking, and like the buttons are there. It takes me for fucking ever to send a message and be like, yo, that was great. Good job. That kind of shit, right? But subsequently, like, they're an absent being, right? I'm two different people. If I'm playing you in an arcade in a friendly situation, we're next to each other, I'm a different monster altogether, right? I'll be like, damn, slam my controller, good game, shake the hand, walk off. I wouldn't rage like Buddy on the arcade stick, that's for sure. But, you know, move on to the next thing or time to play the side events, that sort of thing. Obviously, it gets more heated if you get into like a tournament situation and you get to like the top level and you lose and it's just like fucking you've been working your ass off, you've been doing so good, you know, everything's been going right for you, and then everything goes wrong for you, or it's a close game, it's like, fuck, you have no outlet. You're just in that moment, it's like, ah! I think that's more of a me problem.
Then you only care about winning. We know all of this is nonsense because Guy just doesn't know how to block. Of course, it's easy to roll your eyes here because it's so patently obvious his salt is talking, but people can also say these things at higher levels of play. Blocking a sweep might be obvious to most of you, but not as many will understand why Ryu is able to hit Sagat here when his foot doesn't even come close to him. Normally this attack will whiff crouching opponents because his kick is too high, makes sense. But if you block an attack standing and crouch right afterwards, there's a brief moment where this game treats you like a standing opponent even when you're visibly crouching. This is how Ryu is able to hit Sagat even when it looks like he's kicking the air. For players learning about this for the first time, you can understand.
This is the stuff that gets me upset right now, where I'm playing Guilty Gear Strive and I get that connection, but the guy is just walking into the move and it's like, what's fucking going on here? Or when I ran into the fact that Ino's, like in that mirror match, Ino's other super, the one that I don't use all that often, has all those iframes. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm hitting this guy. What the hell? Got iframes for like 8 hours.
Seem like an unfair exploitation.
I speak in
of a
hyperbole,
game
by the way.
engine.
So
You're just exploiting a bug.
But for players who have seen this 100 times, it's just called fuzzy guard break, and it's an extra option that gives the game a pinch more depth without breaking it.
Dashing under. Even on Cammy.
This is why people say Git Good. Things seem unfair until you find a good way to beat it.
people say that, but they don't anymore. I found that game communities have kind of gotten rid of that Git Good. Even Dark Souls. The Dark Souls community is definitely left behind the Git Good attitude. Like, it's gone. People talk now about, like, strategies to beat things and whatnot. The people who say Git Good are the same type of people who talk or who will say things like they know what they're talking about. But then you tell them, okay, now it's time for you to explain that simply, and they can't. And that's that's how you know they don't understand it. And in fact, the people who are first to say Git Good when somebody's looking for advice for a boss or for advice like this, those are the people who lucked their way into the situation or kind of stumbled into, like, okay, no, I got it. Like, they'll have nothing useful to tell you in the first place. So, yeah, it's like, it's not about Get Good. It's like, here's what you can do to understand or to get good, right? It's like, here is the tools of the trade. Why I really like Hotashi and Romella. I don't know, they're a VTuber. But they both put out regular YouTube videos. It's like, here's how you beat my character, right? Or here is some things that you need to know about the game that, you know, you don't quite understand.
But maybe all this Git Good talk sounds elitist. Is it possible that your complaint can be legitimate and not just a result of salt? Seth Killian had made the point that a win button for each player in a fighting game would actually be cheap. What's instructive about this thought experiment is that it reveals that the Scrub Lord's prayer would mostly be correct in this case. Using the win button is dishonorable, takes no skill, isn't fun to play, and shows that the user truly only cares about winning. But notice that the game is still completely fair because both players have a win button, but also notice how this new win button is incredibly unfair for people who have learned how to play the game.
This win button really de-emphasizes footsies.
Get good, scrub.
can be so fair and unfair at the same time. It's because fairness can be interpreted in three very distinct, if not opposing ways. The first is called sameness, which is the idea that something should either apply to everyone or apply to no one. We like sameness when it's there to...
I'm going to go back for a second. I remember when Marvel vs. Capcom 3 first came out. I like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 more. I never played Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I never got around to it. But when Marvel vs. Capcom 3 first came out, one observation I made was like everybody was overpowered, which was their balancing method. When everybody is overpowered, nobody's overpowered. And that was kind of the joke I made. Because like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was way more, in my opinion, I saw more situations where you just kind of got caught. And you're just like, well, I'm about to watch all three of my characters just die. I found that happened more in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 than 2. That could be that I was better at 2. I don't know. But I feel like there's more escape options in 2 than there were in 3. So on and so forth. I don't know. I just feel like when we talk about this sameness thing, where it's like everybody felt so strong in that game.
Start competitors on the same footing. Every player must win the same number of rounds to win a game, be able to choose the same character, and have access to the same buttons, even if it is a win button. We don't like sameness if it starts to hurt our individuality too much, for example, being forced to choose the same character.
I know, I like it better as
Vonnegut wrote a dystopian satire called
Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, yeah, they went full a fun game rather than a balanced game.
Smart people had to wear noise radios to distract their thoughts, the strong had to wear weights, and the beautiful had to be masked. Kurt Vonnegut probably preferred buffs over nerfs. The second concept of fairness is called deservedness. It's the idea that if you succeed through hard work, skill, creativity, or cunning, you deserve all that you earn, a kind of individual freedom. If you lab the game so much that you find an unorthodox strategy, a weird glitch, a deceptive hitbox, or an infinite hit combo, you see it as a potential tool or a thing to watch out for rather than calling the authorities. This Wild West mentality came from a time when games were very rarely patched and making complaints involved writing and sending an actual letter with a stamp you had to buy. The third type of fairness...
That is one thing. Nowadays, the people of the internet don't understand how easy they have it to complain about something. You have to send international mail if you wanted to complain to Capcom because they're all the way in Japan, and you're going to be lucky if they could read that shit. Right? It was the Michael. I look back at like Michael Keaton as cast as Batman. Like when that happened, people wrote to Warner Brothers to complain. If you think you're angry about, or you saw people who were like talking about Robert Pattinson, motherfucker, those people wrote it down on a piece of paper, put that shit in an envelope, probably wrote it in cursive too, put it and paid for stamps to send that shit across the country, hoping that before this movie was done filming. That's the thing. The rumor would have been in Variety. Who was a motherfucker that was reading Variety magazine? You didn't find about it in a tweet. You found out about it in a fucking newspaper or Variety magazine. And it's like, well, Variety magazine maybe came out once a month. Newspaper was daily, but you're going to be lucky if you get your news on time. Shit, man. Now people are threatening devs. Like, fuck. You guys got it easy if you want to complain.
Is need, which is the idea that the ones that are worse off should be given some sort of aid, sometimes at the expense of the well-off. You might have heard this referred to as social justice. This includes things like comeback mechanics, balance patches, damage scaling, and the infinite prevention system in Skullgirls that makes sure you can't loop a combo forever. These regulations are needed to make sure the game doesn't break and remain competitively viable, but of course, that can be pretty subjective.
Is he dead? Oh my god!
Guilty Gear Strive has damage
Reason
scaling, right? Not crazy?
Caused so much salt was because it violated the concept of need so badly. You're already doing bad because your opponent is constantly hitting you, but then the game says, because you did so bad, now you don't get to move or defend yourself.
That's what I thought.
Now watch as you get your
I've seen some pretty ridiculous combos not to kill. It's like, that should have killed.
Richer mechanic felt so unjust.
In competitive
Local
play.
arcades made
Tashi
arcade where
puts
you were
together
not allowed
some
to hit
shit,
anyone
man.
who was stunned, basically saying, sorry, but we don't play like that here. Made up rules in arcades even happened in the old school Korean Tekken.
This was literally a thing. I couldn't believe it when I think back on it. In Street Fighter 2, if you got a stun on somebody and they had the Tweety Birds, you want to see somebody get pissed? Throw them. Just throw them. In like 1993, I guess would have been when 92, 91, early days. Back when I was playing Street Fighter 2 in a fucking convenience store for 50 cents, 25 cents to continue. If you threw a guy while they were starred out and stunned, they would nowadays it's just like whatever the fuck, I don't care. But that's probably because I'm a 40-year-old adult. Back then I was like a 12-year-old kid. I'm about to lose my quarter, and fucking throwing does so much damage. Neglecting the fact that they just stunned my ass. Like, ouch. Fuck. Yeah, that bullshit honor, fucking... Fuck that.
Scene, home with some of the best players in the world.
짠손 짠발이라든가 뭐 이런 기술들이 있어요. 그런 것들이랑 이제 쇼풍을 앉아서 기성화포로 때린다든가 이런 게 하면은 약간 노매너라 약간 이런 게 있었다고 하더라고요. 제가 할 때는
People at arcades are fucking whiners, but it's because there's money. There's literal money on the line. Like, you popped a couple quarters in there. Fuck.
이제 좀 그런 것들이 점차 누그러지고 있을 때 근데도 하면 약간 눈치 보이는?
But making
I think back now, like, a quarter nowadays, or a quarter then is probably like oh, fuck. I'm at that age now, it's like, fuck, it would be $1 nowadays to play a fucking game of Street Fighter.
Your own personal rules to an existing game like this is
So
like
glad
putting
home consoles
yourself
are
as
a
Grand
thing.
Chancellor of the game's developers and its community, but only having a jurisdiction limited to the handful of people who don't want to waste time arguing with you. If you want real change, you have to let the developer know. Thanks to social media, everyone with a smartphone can complain about anything to anyone, and because games are so often patched these days, it can have a real influence. It's no wonder the designers of Tekken felt they had to do this.
Is there anything you want to tell the Tekken community that's tuning in? I guess this is all he wants to say.
I love that.
But for game designers, complaining about
him and who's the other one? I want to say it's the Devil May Cry guy, who just like ban people. It's like, don't you fucking talk to me. Do you know who I am? Banned. Blocked. Fuck you.
Existing games kind of becomes your job. The very same salt that came from the stun mechanic has been converted into one of the most iconic features in gaming history.
One of the things about Street Fighter that annoyed me and I loved was when you get the other guy dizzy. That was such a bad feeling, and it was such a good feeling when you're the guy who's attacking him. I want to have that good feeling, but I don't want to give the other guy the bad feeling. So we moved the dizzy to the end of the fight.
For game designers, salt can be a driver of innovation.
Rolling back to 1993 again, in the arcade, people are playing Mortal Kombat. You kind of figured out the moves. Do you know who the fucking superhero in the arcade was? The guy that knew the fatalities. That guy was God. Because again, we didn't have an internet. We had an internet, but it was like BBC's, like very bad. Like, imagine what you see as an old ass message board, and imagine that as a DOS screen. That was like, hold on a second. Let's see if I can recreate the old fucking not BBC's, BBS. BBS. Image, yeah. You come across some shit that would look like this. That was the internet. And heaven forbid, because you're dialing on like a fucking 56K modem, heaven forbid you're using phone lines, that this BBS is in like Germany. Or hell, I'm Canadian, Detroit. You're paying long distance fees. Like, it was this is what we had to look up. And if you looked up this shit, you earned those fatalities, man.
One of the most salt-inducing moves back in the day was also one of the most basic, throws in Street Fighter 2. Once referred to as a dark art, throws had been a zero-sum winner-take-all move where the first person to press the button at close range would throw their opponent for a ton of damage and excellent positioning. Players that understood its instant activation and deceptive range would be able to toss around their opponents like ragdolls, and any OG from the arcade days can tell you about the fights that broke out because of it. So in Super Street Fighter...
What'd I just say? Like physical, actual fights would break out if you threw somebody in dizzy. It's ridiculous. That's how salty people get. My mother. Okay, so I was that kid who told my mom when something ridiculous, or my parents when something ridiculous happened at a place. And there used to be an arcade that my mom always wanted to let me go to, right? But she always wanted me to supervise because there was a stigma that some arcades have. And it was earned. I just wasn't aware of it because I was a small child. And it's that arcades used to be notorious places where people would deal drugs. Now, I look back on it now and it's my parents only knew that because it's where they used to get their pot. That's probably not the case, but either way. That's the way I'm thinking about it now. It's like, how did you know? So of course there's always that fear where it's like, oh, my kid is gonna buy drugs. Mom, you sent me with $3 and I'm here to play Street Fighter. I'm not buying drugs. My drug is on the screen. Anyway, so there's one arcade I finally got to go to, and by this point I'm in middle school. My parents are letting me walk home from school, and I have found a route that I could walk from my middle school to this arcade and then go home. I told my mom I'm going to be late this one day because I want to go to the arcade. I go to the arcade, wait my turn for Street Fighter, and one guy gets dizzied. And this guy has pumped, like, you could tell he's frustrated because this one guy has owned the machine. And this is a guy I'd seen in this place. Like, I'd walk by this place. That guy basically owned this Street Fighter machine. And this guy got dizzied, and then he got thrown, and then a punch got thrown, and a fight broke out. And I was like, I don't want to play Street Fighter anymore. I'm going to go play Donkey Kong. I'm going home. I go play Donkey Kong. I go home. Tell my mom about this. I was not allowed at that arcade anymore. If I would have just shut my mouth and been like, I lost a lot of Street Fighter, I don't care. I'll go back some other time when somebody not good. Like, my dumb ass told my mom, Mom, the fight broke out at the arcade. You're never going to that arcade again. It's like, fuck!
After 2 Turbo came around, they introduced throw teching, where if you managed to input throw within 13 frames after your opponent did it, you would not only take half the damage, but literally land on your feet. This is the game lowering your salt levels by throwing you a bone and rewarding you for being close. Fast forward to modern fighting games, and now throw teching actually cancels the throw with no one getting hurt at all, and depending on the game, one of the players might be rewarded with a slight positional advantage. The thing to note here is that even the saltiest guy swimming in the Dead Sea while eating Dutch licorice is not going to complain about losing a slight positional advantage. This feels fair because it doesn't terribly violate any of the 3 concepts of fairness, and it might be why throw breaks have survived for so long. No one got salty enough to complain about it. Your modern fighting game and games in general are a culmination of innovations from past games to ensure that the needs of the ever-increasing player base are met. But long gone are the days of ruthless and punishing game designs with zero-sum gameplay that indiscriminately rewards one player and dumps all the salt onto the other. Who would want to go back to such a regressive time? Let me know in the comments the saltiest thing you've ever... Hey Corey, what's up? Nothing. I was just in the middle of recording and you kind of messed me up, but... I'm just kidding. It's fine. What's up? Oh yeah? What's it called? Okay. Really? So apparently, in the dark trenches of the FGC, there's a competitive scene out there that plays one of the cruelest and most sadistic fighting games ever made. It was never released outside of Japan, and rumor has it that people who played the game suffered from hypernatremia, making it literally toxic. Released in 1994, the game is called Bishoujo Senshi Sailor Moon S.
Fuck. My wife wants this game.
Yo. Oh, that was a dirty press up. Ooh. Oh my god. Oh my god, it did like 50%.
Fair. As you can see, these people make a mockery of fairness. This game has unbreakable throws, no damage scaling, invincible DPs with no accountability, dash canceling from any normal, guard canceling into any special, unlimited supers when low on health, and a fireball that does more damage on block than on hit likely due to a programming error. Ever thought a character?
There is something I need to lab one day. When I used to play in the arcades, we could have sworn in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that Tronbon and Surfbot's supers were you would take more chip damage versus blocking damage. I have to lab it one day, but I feel like that was a thing that we thought happened.
Was too good. Sailor Uranus thinks it sucks. Do you even command grab? She says.
Missing person, he needs to get in.
Oh no, this is bad. This is bad
This
for.
is definitely bad. He doesn't have a health.
But he might get it.
Oh!
And he's going for another one. I'm telling you.
He is.
Get fucked.
And do you know why Sailor Mars is laughing here? It's because the company that can nerf her chip damage is dead. This is the resulting anarchy that forms when there's no one to listen to what the zoning is cheating guy has to say. Sailor Moon S is the pre-John McCain MMA of fighting games. Adapt or get your eyes gouged out. It's amazing how the Toronto Sailor Moon community can enjoy such unregulated waifu.
This is a Toronto community? I gotta find these guys. These guys are not far from me.
Cockfighting. It's almost as if they're part of a culture that celebrates salt as a driver of adaptation instead of a means to strong-arm game developers into patching out anything that seems remotely good. It's 2018. Get with the times already.
You're still pissed off about Mike Ross.
Damn right I am.
Dude, I'm hunting these motherfuckers down. First of all, I'm gonna find out where they get their copies of Sailor Moon. That's on BlogTO. That's not gonna help me. Oh, it's called Toronto. Okay, their website is torontotoptiers.com. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's witness this live. Let's see if they're gonna because fun fact. Oh god, they got a .com in Canada too. Mondays and Wednesdays, 4:30, 12. St. Clair Avenue West. That's the neighborhood I used to live in. I wonder how many of these guys are fucking people I used to. Like, I wonder how many of these guys I used to go to school with. I can't wait to find out. Probably none. I'm fucking 40. This will probably change soon. Go to your Discord, you say? I mean, yeah, that's the thing. The fighting game community does skew high in age. Like, how old is Daigo? Yeah, Daigo's a year older than I am, so I'm gonna shut my mouth. This community runs hot. Anyway, we are off on a tangent here. St. Clair West is not easy for me to get to though on a Monday and a Wednesday. That's rough. Like, those are work days. Anyway. What was the other one that you had? You said. The two I have in mid are the three types of players and the effects. Oh, the three types of players is like the innovator versus the. That was a relatively. Okay. This one, no, that's honors versus innovators. You said those the three types, right? Put this one. Is it just like a you didn't know off the top of your head? Because I do that all the time too. 3 types of fighting game. Okay, we'll do 2 types later. It's a 6-year-old video. Okay, well it's probably still. These guys do some really good lasting content. I'm pre-liking it. Deal with it.
As illustrated in the previous video, a fighting game's replay value comes from having human opponents to play against. While some of the best games ever made have been single-player only, nothing can match the depth and challenge of overcoming a sentient being with the same desire to come out on top. The human aspect is what makes coming up with a winning strategy so complicated, and it's why traditional game guides are more likely to have things like combos and setups as opposed to a section on how to frustrate your opponent. Luckily, we have some great resources on fighting game theory like SonicHurricane.com's Footsie's Handbook, Seth Killian's Vitriolic Domination 101 series, and now, the Amazon.com self-help bestseller, Simplifying Street Fighter by Gutex. While I love combo videos and watching Punko get angry, I wanted to know more about the game's theory. Korean OG veteran and Evo champ Ryan An, aka Laugh, was kind enough to let me, and by extension you, in on one of his theories. He feels that there are 3 archetypes of fighting game players, and most players exhibit varying degrees of each one, kind of like a radar chart. The 3 attributes we're talking about are the brains, the heart, and the body. All this is pretty abstract, so I'll elaborate. The brains refers to the scientific player. This is the lab monster who is constantly in training mode finding the best options and answers to particular situations. Hitbox and frame data is king, and every move and decision is calculated to provide the best outcome and the least risk. The brains-based player...
We have this in Magic. We have this in Magic the Gathering.
...is the most thrilled to find an option select that can cover 3 possibilities in one setup, and aims to have a concrete answer for every moment of the match. However, because there are virtually infinite scenarios in a fighting game, it's not possible to know every situation, and this is where being solely a brains-based player has its limits. Unfamiliar situations...
Sorry, I'm going to clarify a little bit. In Magic the Gathering, they actually gave them names. So where you had the brains, heart, so on. In Magic the Gathering, they named them Timmy, Spike, and Vorthos. But the layout will be different when you think about Magic the Gathering. Timmy has big creature. Timmy wants to play big creature. Timmy wants to put big creature on game and smash. It'll also go for like, he wants to put the biggest thing forward and power it out. Spike will build your combos and like methodically build the deck with every single like peak, maximum, min-maxed situation put together. And Vorthos read all the Magic the Gathering stories and likes his game and will play stylistically. And like, you know, a lot of the cards in the deck will make sense to the story of Magic.
Situations can be downright scary, and the fact that you're playing a fighting game and not chess means that you don't have time to analyze how best to handle it. But if you've really done your lab work, the scientific player has the most consistent and efficient way of bulldozing their opponents. In contrast, the heart refers to the emotional or feel-based player. This kind of player likes mind games, baiting, conditioning their opponents, and making predictions based on the heat of the moment. In other words, making reads, also known as yomi in Japan. It's about riding that fine line between genius and foolishness, and somehow coming out as a genius.
That's why they call it the yomi counter in
scientific
fighting
players' fear of unfamiliar situations, and will delve into the metagame to get the edge they need in order to win.
Makes so much more sense now.
The metagame is a game played outside of the main game that still affects the main game. But none of this matters if you drop your combos all day long, and this brings us to the final archetype to round out the theory. This type of player is known as the body, which refers to players known for their physical capabilities, which in fighting games refers to execution and reactions. This is actually the most straightforward out of the 3, and what people unfamiliar with fighting games might think is the only thing required to be good at fighting games. Of course, this usually isn't the case, but there are games that are fast-paced and require serious timing and coordination to do well, and we notice that physical players...
Would you believe me if I told you that this is actually where I am weakest?
...prefer characters that benefit from being able to do difficult links and combos. This kind of required precision is what separates fighting games from mind sports like chess and poker, and is often blamed for being a barrier to new potential fighting game players. But some of you might be thinking that this theory is nothing new, and you're absolutely right. The balance between mind, body, and heart has been expressed countless times in fiction before, and one that's unequivocal about it is The Wizard of Oz.
Toto? I have a feeling we're not in
Unequivocal
Kansas
or
anymore.
The
not
cowardly lion
subtle?
has a brain, but is fearful. The clumsy scarecrow is brainless, but has a heart. And the Tin Man represents a physical body without any human organs. But as much fun as it might be to make parallels between fighting gamers and The Wizard of Oz, how is any of this useful? Well, it's not terribly useful on the surface, but with some thinking and playing Theory Fighter, it can change the way you approach a match. Just off the top of my head, I might be more wary of wake-up backdashing against a brains-based player because they'll option select everything. When playing a heart-based player, I might resist the urge to jump if it seems like that's what they want me to do. As for a body-based player, I might throw less close-range fireballs when they have Ultra, even in situations where I don't think they can react. All three attributes are required
that's
to
where I
be a
get caught a
fighting
lot.
game player, and no one will completely embody
Body
one
players
archetype.
is fucking body
For the
me.
big tournaments with short 2 out of 3 sets, it helps to understand your opponent as quickly as possible, especially when there are hundreds of players you've never heard of, and anything that will help you form a strategy is going to help you win.
Yeah, it looks like the winner is crying.
But of course, everyone approaches the game differently, and this is just a theory, which is why I haven't named and categorized any players. But you guys can feel free to do so in the comments section.
No. 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 No, I don't know the players all that well. God, I love the work that these guys do. Yeah, this is one of those situations that you kind of look at and go. There was the fairness one and the salt thing got me thinking about something. Damn. Extra Credits did a really good thing on something like that. And it was about taking some of the feel bad out of new players by giving there's a lot, but I actually, did they call it? Oh. Anyway, the idea was behind like the sort of things that they put in there that a lot of people complain it's like so noob friendly. Specifically at the time Call of Duty 4 was out. Oh god, that's how dated this is. And there was that grenade launcher attachment that you could put on your rifles that people just lovingly called the noob tube, because you'd get hit with this grenade out of nowhere and it's like, fuck, this guy doesn't even have to be good, they could just kill me. And it was how putting things like that in this is more game design, but I'm, as a game designer I kind of catch those things. You put things like that, and the examples they used were the 100-hand slap from E Honda, the noob tube or the grenade launcher attachment for Call of Duty, and the Zergling Rush. And it's the idea, they called them FOO strategies, first order optimal strategies, where the first time you pick up your controller or slap in front of the keyboard in the case of StarCraft, they want you to kind of look at it and go, okay, what's something a new player is going to want to do? And it's not so much reducing the skill gap as it is giving a new player something that gives them the feel good. Exactly, like training wheels, right? And it's not a bad thing necessarily to put those things in there. The people who get angry have to understand is, the new guy needs a chance to be like, yo, yeah, okay, I caught you, right? If you get caught in a 100-hand slap by E Honda, it's not a matter of it's an easy move to pull off or whatever. You got caught in the fucking 100-hand slap. Every person knows how to do the 100-hand slap. And to a certain degree, a lot of the first order optimal strategies are counterable, right? The Zerg Rush only works if you're not ready for the Zergling Rush. The same thing with the 100-hand slap. If you're not ready, you don't know it's coming, it will work, right? And like the only thing you have to do is slap that punch button as fast as you can to get them hands going out, right? Zergling Rush. Build Zerglings as fast as you can. Go. Just go. Right? Yeah. It's not meant for high play. It does work sometimes in high play. I have seen StarCraft high-level StarCraft games won by Zergling Rushes because there's a flow to the game and a player expects a certain flow of the game. And you're trying to catch them off guard somehow. But at the same time, a high-level player who throws a Zergling Rush at you, they throw that Zergling Rush not as though it's going to be the only way they're going to win, but in a manner in which the Zergling Rush goes and they continue to build further. Now, they're behind if you're going for an early expansion, etc., etc. So that it will be used in high-level play, but it won't win at high level. So, exactly. It's part of the strategy as opposed to now what, right? And that's the same. I don't watch competitive Call of Duty, but I feel like the grenade launcher attachment has got to be a part of that, right? Because one, you get one or two of them per life, right? And it's not quick to reload, but it can be a defining factor and just like get a quick kill. It's useful, right? Especially if you're using it on like a rifle. I don't know if Call of Duty 4 was ever played competitively, but you'd pop the grenade, kill one guy, switch off. All right, time to kill everybody else with not that weapon. So anyway, I've gone on long enough. What are we gonna watch now? Let's watch something fun. It's fun time now. I had something in mind and I totally forgot what it was, and I really got to start writing this shit down because I'm old. I have gotten God, I used to have this ability to just remember the most mundane shit. And it's gotten bad. It's gotten significantly worse too ever since the I don't know if the two are related or if there is just like some kind of mental thing going on with me. That Maximilian have something? No, he has a lot of. That's a guy I want to find out how old he is. I feel like he talks to me in like a way where it's like, oh, did you watch the Sony State of Play today? This right here, this It's Not Dino Crisis, is literally mine and Amber's reaction to one of the games. Also, check out Maximilian Dude just started a podcast with Matt McMuscles and Justin Wong. I want to say it's called Triple KO. Is that right? Yeah, Triple KO. Watch it. It's fun. It is fun. They talk about fun shit. Feel like we're going back to easy mode for this shit. Timmys are grapplers. And I can't tell you how bad I want to get into Street Fighter 6 and want to just go Zangief. It's my dream. My dream to be good with Zangief. It's the same. I had the same thing with StarCraft, where in StarCraft I was good and capable with I'm looking for a short one here. I was good and capable with the Protoss. I mean, yeah, I'm a Timmy. You should see how I play Magic as it is. Like, okay, in Magic the Gathering, when I play competitively, I play Gruul. Red-green. I'm a Timmy. Deal with it. My best commander deck is my Corvold deck. My goal is to get Corvold as big as possible. I'm a Timmy. I play green. I'm the old. I played green before green was good. I wanted big creatures on the board. Give me elves. Give me. Okay, hold on. Let's go through this. What have we? What? You know what? Okay, we're gonna go like several levels deep because I love wild fighting game community stuff, but sometimes the videos just they're hard to watch without some kind of a buffer. And I think this is going to be the one we watch. I'm just going to keep going a little bit just to make sure. The one I think it is? Give me a second. I want to double check just to be sure. I'd started this one.
I know nothing about this.
No, it's not this one. This is one of his web.
He realizes that's what he has to do. He's doing the right thing.
Okay, no, this is it.
Everybody does. Fellas, you like Melee? I know you do. Everybody does. Who doesn't love a good game of Super Smash Brothers?
Is this the right one? I don't. Whatever, we're gonna watch it.
It's especially good if you're stuck in the past and can't.
But yes, yeah, I want to play Zangief, get the big throws. It looks cool. Zangief is also a wrestler.
One of those things is a certain set.
It speaks to me.
Prince Abu, the weirdest set ever played. There's a channel called Melee Stats that puts up really good movies on this stuff. This one's got 360K. And when I saw the weirdest set ever played, I said, really? The weirdest? I've seen a lot of Smash sets. I'll be the judge of that. I will say, a lot of the things that I come into this on, I don't know. Like, I already know what's going to happen, but I don't know the whole story. I know nothing about this. And I hear it's a good video. So we're going to watch a little movie.
The Wimbledon 2017 final is everything you could ever ask for.
Did I click on the wrong video?
It's a match that matters. A match which will represent something in the sport's history. A match with a narrative arc which feels plagiarized from a direct-to-TV sports movie. 5,217 miles away. It's an arid 111-degree day in Las Vegas.
I was there!
Evo.
I was there! I've been there!
Evo's been at Mandalay Bay for how long now at this point?
Actually, I was just there. That's Evo!
Two men are on a stage, surrounded by a couple hundred people at most.
I don't know this set at all.
The man on the right is Plup, and his presence on the stage surprises nobody. He is an absolute titan of Super Smash Bros. Melee.
And a panda.
3 months before Evo, Plup decided to play Luigi in a major tournament for no real reason at all.
Speaking of Panda Global, I want to take a second. Every time I tell somebody familiar with the fighting game community that Smash isn't going to be at Evo, they turn around and say, fucking Panda Global. Like, what the fuck is going on? Is Panda Global, like, deep in Nintendo's pockets and I'm unaware, like, how deep it goes? You know who I know on Panda Global? I know Coney and I know Small Ant. Those are the only two guys I know from this fucking team.
He was just bored and thought it would be fun.
Well,
with
poor
Luigi,
Ginger.
A character inarguably not even in the top
Not
10
Nintendo,
characters.
dude! Not Nintendo, dude, no!
It was like if someone entered the French Open only serving underhanded, and then made it all the way to the semifinals. He is just that much better
I
than
didn't know he
everybody else.
did that. I didn't know he did all that. Dude, I'm glad we picked him up, bro. He's been on way longer than I have.
And the man he is sitting next to is having the run of his goddamn life.
But dude, I think Melee's fate actually rides on Prince Abu.
Really? I'm interested in this theory.
I remember this convo, him saving Melee, right?
But one very simple thing places an enormous amount of attention on Prince Abu. As of this tournament, there are no other Puff players besides him and Hungrybox in the top 50.
Yeah, he's like the only guy, right? Like now it's Two Saint. And for a while, Soft was in the mix, but Soft is like, doesn't play anymore. Being the only Jigglypuff other than HBox is such a
Damn Crossins. Yeah, Sajim, I think, if I remember correctly, Sajim was one of the guys who was doing the Evo announcements. I've heard of him. Everybody's hip deep in Elden Ring. Maximilian Dude is deep in Elden Ring. Hitachi was playing Elden Ring. Romulo was playing, like, Elden Ring has taken over everything. It is the only game. It's why I get next to no viewers if you're not around, Slash.
prestiged place to be. Because you're the only person people...
Like, I think I had J Dub's, like, lurking most of yesterday. It was mostly me just kind of speaking into the void.
Who could go for practice?
Which is fine.
Hungrybox is
I just love playing
notorious
Elden
for
Ring. I'm supposed
refusing
to
practice matches with other players.
keep track of shit I've done.
Is the best puff practice partner in the world. Hungrybox's opponents love Prince Abu, and
Wait, does he
Abu
only play?
loves them back.
Does he
like
play?
a bird hopping around inside a crocodile's mouth. It's a beautiful, absurd harmony.
Yeah, it's a
Can you imagine when it comes to like, because Melee only had the 2 Jigglypuffs in the top 50, and one of them refused to practice with anyone, and it's just like, fuck. One guy exists to get practice with. This guy holds the key to the Puff Kingdom.
It's a symbiotic relationship. Yeah, that's nice.
Top players would host fundraisers to fly Prince Abu out to events they were attending, including prestigious invitational tournaments that Abu did not qualify for. They just
not
wanted
know
this.
Guys, we need to get some money. Why? We need Prince Abu to show up for the tournament. Why? We need to practice between days. He's not even qualified for the tournament, but we're fucking flying him out. Can you imagine having that kind of power? Just to be fucking sitting on a throne, having people carry you to tournaments? Like, yes. Come to me, my minions. Of course, granted, half the time I'm pretty sure his lodgings were one of those hotel rooms or one of those borrowed fucking living rooms. Like, bro, let my buddy stay here. And he's like guy number 17.
There was always this slightly threatening undertone when talking about bringing Prince Abu along to events. It was as if everybody was saying, get Prince Abu to this tournament unless you want a Hungrybox to win.
That's actually amazing.
How much of a difference.
The more and more stories I've read and watched about Smash Melee, the more and more I've seen, and Coney has called it out too, there are so many fucking anti-Hungrybox rules in the fucking community. It's kind of ridiculous. Like, they should be ashamed of themselves how violently they went after this poor guy.
His presence at any given tournament made, but Prince Abu, in a very literal sense, was a critically important person for the top level of the game.
That's so fucking fun. Dude, imagine being H-Box here. You pull...
I'm also on the subject of Abu getting fucking plane tickets. I was very close to coming up with like a donation bar to get me to Vegas, and then I just fucking bailed on it. I was like, no, I'm not there yet. I'm not there.
Up and you see him here, this fucking guy again. And you're not even mad at him. He's a nice guy, but you know people are doing it specifically to fuck with you. This guy gets to travel the world specifically to stop you from succeeding. And it doesn't even work. H-Box should pay him to stay home. Honestly, now, maybe that's why he's farming Ultimate Kids. Oh, dude, I saw some not cleans. I'm seeing some not cleans in the chat, by the way. I got gifted a likely story.
The beginning of Game 1 at first glance isn't much different from any other high-level Fox vs. Puff set. 39 seconds in, he catches Plup's movement to a platform with a single up air.
Yeah?
This would be the last time Prince Abu would hit Plup for the entirety of Game 1.
Huh?
In the next 67 seconds, Plup will win neutral 17 times in a row.
Huh? Oh no.
Oh my god.
Prince Abu, no. You know what? You got a free trip. You got a free trip, brother. Hey,
you got a free trip.
Prince Abu floats back to the stage, and Plup once again runs in with virtually the same jab. Prince Abu, a good player in Winners Top 32 at EVO, is prepared this time.
Yeah.
He ASDIs the jab and instantly shields.
Sick.
Now, surely an attack following a jab cannot harm him. Plup executes a precise up air which attacks the tiny sliver of Jigglypuff's ear, which is not covered by the shield.
Oh my god.
Her hair.
A technique popularized in a video which came out 4 days prior by Prince Abu's friend. Prince Abu almost seems to see this coming.
No.
He tries to angle his shield upwards to protect Jigglypuff's ears, but it doesn't matter.
Her hair. Her little
on the mic, after escaping the drill, Prince Abu once again tries to shield.
No.
Please, Please do not hurt me any longer.
Let him go, Plup.
Plup just stands there.
Let him go.
Imagine your block not working.
Tues rapidly draining shield.
What?
Let him go.
Specifically for Jigglypuff or for any
Release
character
him.
that has like little bits sticking out of the shield?
Leave
After
him alone.
An excruciating second, Plup crosses up the shield and grabs right as he cracks and tries to jump away. Up throw up airing him to end game 1.
Oh no!
Between games.
Oh no, that's so sad. He ran past him. That's the worst thing you could do. He wasn't even he could have just stood there. He could have grabbed him. He ran through him. That's cruel. This is mean.
Between games, Toph offers the following commentary.
That, oh, wow. That was maybe the worst beating I've ever seen on an...
Can you imagine being the victim of that? It's like, I've never seen...
That was worse than...
Actually, I have been... Okay. I have been on the camera for several games when I played HeroClix, and one of them was a brutal ass kicking that not only came with a bad beating, but some bad dice rolling too. And apparently the chat was just like, okay, I did have a reputation in HeroClix. I had a fairly, in the world of HeroClix, big YouTube channel, and I had a reputation for some bad fucking dice. Like, terrible dice when it counted. Specifically, world championships, national championships, etc., etc. My dice would fail me when it was the most inconvenient. And like, it got to the point where I would have to make it so that even bad dice would help me win. But I couldn't always do that. The available characters in my choice of in the format didn't always allow for that. On two separate occasions, as a matter of fact, my dice were so bad my opponents got mad at me. And two of the two opponents I played against were the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. And they're just like, Jason, fuck your dice, man. But yeah, so sometimes you're the victim, and it's like a public flogging, and it's like everybody's gotta look around like, that was brutal. That was fucking brutal. I don't even know what to say about that. This is my problem. My fingers are too big that I right click when I left click.
Yeah, dude. So when you're a commentator in that moment, it feels really bad because you want to hype up both people or talk about what one player could do right. But sometimes it's an ass whooping. Prince Abu's a great player, clearly, right? And he was having an amazing run. But like, what do you...
Off camera, I've also been victim of absolute stompings.
Toph is referring to the infamous EVO 2014 set, where Axe wins the final game of a 1-to-1 set in under a minute.
This is Silent Wolf's legacy. Isn't that so insane? Every set you ever sit down to play in Super Smash Bros. Could be your legacy. You could get fucked. There was a tournament that I played, or that I commentated, Smash and Splash, one of them, and I forget, but I was commentating Elegant versus Rag. Elegant, obviously a strong Luigi player. He's upcoming. He's been making a lot of waves. He's been doing great.
Dude, they betrayed me frequently. Not just sometimes.
Rags is killing people. He's slaying people. He's playing Meta Knight in Smash 4. He's a great guy. He's a really cool guy, and he's a...
Though there have been situations, I look back on it, my closest big show wins, Canadian Nationals, I got third place once. Last game, my dice didn't betray me. My opponent's skill betrayed me. Like, his team was just outclassed mine by 1,000 times. And then the other time was I placed in the top 4 in Team Worlds. And in HeroClix, it's kind of, I think it's very similar in a way to Magic, where like your team's record, the 3 of you play a different player each, again from another team. And your collective record ends up being like the important part. And in the entirety of the tournament, I lost one of my games. And that was in like 8 rounds of Hero, 9 rounds of Hero. I got to the semifinals, top 4. I won my game, and my teammates lost theirs, and that was it. And like, that was the closest I'd ever come. And the dice The dice were tough sometimes, but they never fully like left me hanging. But I think like my build at the time, because it was sealed, was a little better than a lot of people gave credit for, and I played it like incredibly carefully. I had no choice. I had to play against fucking massive numbers and compared to. Anyway, carrying on.
He's a great player, and I really like him. And he goes up to fight Elegant, and he got Omega wiped. It's like I'm watching him being slaughtered, and I'm egging it on. And I can feel the words leaving my body, but I don't feel good about it. Like, as I'm commentating it, I'm like, I'm just shit-talking him. He's just getting destroyed, and I feel so bad. Because, like I said, I like the dude.
Okay, carrying on. I've done some commentary for HeroClix as well. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes a beating is just happening, and it's like, fuck. Just gotta say it. Right? And the worst situation that I ran into was a guy was hanging out in the booth where we were commentating, and his wife was on stream. And he was being super positive about her chances. And the team that his wife was up against completely outclassed his wife's team. He's trying to be positive. He's like, no, she's got a chance of it. And just like, it's like, dude, I appreciate you, but you're wrong. Like, the odds are just not in the favor there, man. And like, I understand what he was trying to do, but it's just like, I hope she never to a certain degree, I was like, I hope she didn't have to hear that, because he had her back. But bro, sorry, man.
But it was just a blowout. To be fair, he had a very good sense of humor about it. He was like, yeah, sometimes that happens, which is true. Like, that will happen to all of us in competition. It just sucks it happened on that big of a stage. Oh, Phantom hit. Oh, man.
There's some debate within the Melee community about whether Jigglypuff is the best character in the game. Whether or not she truly is the best is debatable, but one thing is not. If your tag is Plup, you find this matchup to be very, very boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think whenever I see a Puff on screen.
This was an older video. This is an older video, so that conversation is like, now it's all Marth Fox, right? That's like the current thing.
Yeah, I'm the worst person to commentate with ever.
No, I actually love.
I was gonna say,
That's always one issue I've had with sometimes with tier lists. It's like, Jigglypuff in Smash Melee had two people who played the character, and two people were really good with the character. Does that make the character good, or does that just mean that that character attracts these two really good players? I've always had a weird with that one. I've always thought like a good character is like what is best represented and consistent as well. Kind of the case. It's always hard too when you got to base it on tournament results. I mean, most tier lists are all bullshit. That's the thing about it. Sometimes there's a consistency to them, but yeah, for the most part, tier lists are usually nonsense. Just sometimes you come across something that's like, okay, everybody hates this. Like, here's an example: every single Street Fighter game tier list, where is Dan gonna be? That's another one. I want to take Dan in a Street Fighter's game and just be competitive with him. And I want people to be so fucking mad every time they lose.
Yeah, this seems really bad.
I might be asking for the impossible.
Oh no.
But
You can play any character.
Is he gonna use the character?
Oh, I just mean like from your heart's perspective.
Oh, definitely.
Could you do it?
It would be.
I would never be.
No.
That's what
I would
I'm
hate
saying.
myself.
The hard sellout.
Part of what makes Jigglypuff such a strong character is her ability.
there's probably like a small Dan community in Street Fighter.
To engage.
Yeah.
Like Zangief is my dream. Dan is just my like would be like icing in the cake of, oh my god, I've reached this peak level.
Dude,
I don't think I'm ever gonna reach that peak
I
level,
play
by the way.
Jigglypuff in Melee, or I used to. I love Jigglypuff, but like I don't know how to be patient, so I will never be good at Melee. Never.
I am this close, by the way, to also having fighting games on
So it's
Monday.
like, I can't do it.
Plup is a famously emotive player, and he hates Jigglypuff.
True.
And now,
But I also might just kind of keep Fridays as an option when Amber can't stream,
tired of sharing the screen with Prince,
which is becoming often lately.
Aside from
Poor girl.
lasers, he is unable to hit Prince Abu for the next 20 full seconds.
Dude.
Prince Abu is simply always just too far away.
Yeah, so if your Prince,
I think that's one of the
after you
things
just got railed the
about
last
I'm
game,
going to be talking
you're
over
just
because I
not
want to
gonna
get to bed
fight
soon.
for a while and
But
try to piss the other
that's
guy
a
off,
rough
which
part
is, like,
about good
for
puff
Prince Abu.
players
You
in
realize
Melee.
that's
I've
what
dealt
he
with
has
it
to
in the
do.
past.
He's doing the right thing.
In like just a
But if
bar
I'm Plup, I'm
situation,
pissed
but a
off,
good
too.
puff
I
player
get
is
it. I get it.
obnoxious as
In a departure from his
fuck.
Game 1 game plan, begins attempting to run forwards to up smash
Right,
and grab.
college dorm situation, so might as well have been a
We're
bar.
going to game 3.
Up smash, grab, grab. Up smash, grab, up smash.
It's working.
Then,
He's
despite
winning.
winning up until now, a crack appears. Plup does a standing laser.
No! Don't shoot the gun! No!
Prince Abu wave dashes forward, but Plup has a few frames of advantage.
Wait.
He can easily roll away and safely maintain his lead.
Grab.
Instead,
Grab.
Plup once again attempts to grab. He is a few frames late. His advantage evaporates. Both players grab on the same frame.
Oh no.
Prince Abu is port 1, so the game awards the grab to him.
Oh
The
no.
up throw rests Plup at 14%, instantly killing.
That is right there. How the hell you know that you've got 1, a close game, and 2, you're at the highest peak of play, is when the fucking controller port you're in decides the game.
Man, that
Peak
was
meta
the
play.
whole reason this video was made. And what an amazing...
I've also heard it's why when you do doubles, it's like team 1 is port 1 and 3, and team 2 is port 2 and 4.
reason it is. That's so good.
It is a BS thing. There's a health rating thing, I think, in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that made those ties kind of go to the certain health bar. I don't know.
Is that how Melee works? That's how Smash works. Port priority is a thing. So the port that you're in can determine certain things in different games. I don't know much about Melee, but I can tell you that in Brawl, doubles had to be 1 and 4, because if you had 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 3 and 4 were strictly better. The lower your port was, the more priority you had. So Meta Knight and Snake would always be 3 and 4, and Snake would sticky Meta Knight would throw Snake would detonate the C4, and then the person would die that got grabbed. They would die at any %, 0. And Meta Knight would not because he had port priority. Let me see if I can find it. So I'm going to show this to you. I want you to know it was a different time. You're going to not like the name. It's also named after a very popular content creator. This move used to be known as the Omni-Gay. This is just what it was in 2010. Just letting you know. Mewtwo King.
Sometimes waking up the shit that we used to fucking call things in games. Man, white decks that played nothing but small creatures in Magic the Gathering are called white weenie decks. What the fuck was the matter with us?
This is it in singles, but you could do it in doubles, where Meta Knight and Snake would team with each other, and they would do it to other people. Snake puts down the C4, blows it up. Yeah, so a grenade blows up. You could do it with any explosive. Meta Knight's up throw took you to the top of the stage. Basically, up throw would kill at any %. Meta Knight has lower port, so he doesn't blow up. The other guy blows up. But again, Snakes and Meta Knights would do this with each other. You would put the C4 on Meta Knight's head, Meta Knight would throw an opponent, and they would die. So anyway, this is all to say, port priority is a thing in Smash games. I don't know how it works in Melee as much, but it's a big deal. Somebody asked, Omni was in competitive Smash? Yeah, Omni was... He was actually one of the best in my region in MDVA. He played Meta Knight. He was my sensei in competitive Smash. He taught me a lot. He switched to YouTube because he didn't want to compete anymore. Much like me, our paths have gone down pretty similar paths. He wanted to switch to YouTube because he couldn't compete anymore because you can't keep up with college and high school kids. I did the same thing. I just became a commentator and a streamer. He's doing YouTube.
I'm sure to kill and shit like that, but
it's Plup's recovery.
you're hard to grab.
Abu
Yeah.
wipes his hands on his pants, and Plup closes his eyes to collect himself.
I've seen this. I've seen this.
Either player immediately notices that Plup isn't actually dead.
Randall! How have I
Prince Abu jumps
never
out to
seen
hit
this?
Plup, who hasn't moved, and misses. Plup's eyes are still closed.
The thing is, you can laugh at Abu there. You can laugh at Abu here, but he absolutely thought Plup was jumping. He absolutely thinks that Plup is jumping here. So he throws it out early, and he doesn't.
Abu takes the next 2 stocks with pound to jab reset rest on miss tech, both times ending Plup's stock before 30%.
Man.
Abu back airs him after one final desperate grab, and then edge guards him to take the set.
Plup ended up placing 5th after a commendable run through Ryan Ford, Swedish Delight, Axe, and the Moon, before eventually losing to Hungrybox. 5th is roughly what people expected Plup would place at this tournament, as he placed 5th at Genesis 4, CEO Dreamland, DreamHack Austin, and Smash and Splash.
Yeah, Plup seems like a gatekeeper, which isn't a bad place to be. That's not a shot. It's just, you know.
Yeah.
You are the.
There's nothing wrong with being that player. Somebody's got to be like, fuck.
8 days after
Here comes a tough one.
Beat Hungrybox twice en route to his first major victory at DreamHack Atlanta. They gave him a trophy, which would fall apart in his hands within minutes of his victory.
The DreamHack trophies were so funny. They did this every goddamn time. Not a joke.
Fucking hell, DreamHack.
Xbox and Plup. What, the handshake thing?
Plup would beat Hungrybox twice en route to his first.
Yeah, that's just normal.
Leave it to the Netherlands to make fucking.
One guy wants a handshake. That's not that crazy.
Leave it to the Dutch to make a trophy that falls apart. Want to point out that Lego is a Dutch toy.
I love that so much. The way he gets up with so much enthusiasm. Dap me up, bro.
Back on commentary, and
if you guys have never been to a tournament, it's standard etiquette in doubles to fist bump everybody. You can fist bump your partner. That's a little weird. If you live in the Midwest, you fist bump after every.
Here's a thought: is sportsmanship now a fist bump as opposed to a handshake after all this fucking gross COVID shit? I thought that was gonna happen after SARS, to be honest.
Great stock, bro. Great stock. Very weird.
It's not that Plup was bad against Jigglypuff. In fact, if Game 1 was any indication,
I'd be okay with
it.
it.
One of the most elite players against her. There was no broad, meaningful takeaway from the set. No huge paradigm shift before and after.
Oh, I gotta stop doing shit like this to my knuckle.
Brothers, you just lose.
True.
Plup versus.
Then again, it's only because
2017 is one of my favorite sets. It's equal parts monumental and meaningless. To me, this set captures Melee in its unromantic, true self. There's no storyline behind this set because Melee players are not fictional characters. They are just people. Things don't happen according to storylines. Things just happen. And storylines are a superimposed thing we use to make sense of those things that happen. Melee tournaments are, at their core, gatherings of extremely weird people playing an extremely weird game.
Extremely?
During which extremely weird things happen, constants which are worthy of being called favorites for people who subscribe to the idea that Melee is scripted, that the players are heroes, villains, or gods.
Yeah, any contact is always going to
The most amazing thing about Melee
lead to something.
is that it takes place in reality. A niche subcommunity.
Maybe even like elbows.
With all its
hey, we were doing that in HeroClix for a bit when we had some live play for a while.
All of this than the weirdest, most unnoticed set ever played.
What's funny is that when you watch that in hindsight and you just see Plup doing nothing but grabbing and up smashing and like playing how he wants, you see people do that all the time when they get to that level of they just get super stubborn, especially in a super emotional bullheaded.
It is. It's just like
Plup can be sometimes, you know. It's insane.
It's a really weird
There's a lot of
feeling.
players who never go up a level because that's how they always play. The best way to get good at Smash is to have a good autopilot. If you don't have to, and I've said this like a million times, if you have a good autopilot, it means you don't have to use your mental energy on lower level matches, like in Bills matches, and then you save that for later. If your autopilot can beat people's tryhards, you're fine. You're perfect. That's a good movie. Guys, check out this channel.
I love it.
Stats. They only have 20
That's a good movie.
This is a really good...
All right. Anyway, I think we're at that point. He's wrapping up. I'm wrapping up. Today was rough. 30, 32, and 21. I think it was for the day. I just want to do my 2 things. Nothing else matters. The second you get me out of that, it's like, fuck, I gotta do something else. Come on, man. What the fuck? Yeah. So, Tomorrow, Get Good, Get Fit, Elden Ring. Yeah, I was on 7, got to 8, so that is something. Although, if we get off to a rough start, I think we're back to 7 next week. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen. Elden Ring tomorrow. Amber takes over on Friday. Hopefully, if not, I'll come up with what I want to do on Friday. I might just play more God of War. I want to get through that because I'm hoping something is in the mail for me soon that I really want to get started on Mondays. Sort of a joke game, sort of not. But in any case, see you tomorrow. Elden Ring. Meantime, have a good night. And thanks for hanging out with me, Slash.